Imagine standing at the edge of a path that promises transformation, not through extremes, but through a rhythm that the body recognizes and responds to naturally. For many, the idea of losing fat seems synonymous with sacrifice, endless hours in the gym, or rigid diets that feel more like punishment than nourishment. Yet the body, in its quiet intelligence, does not respond to force. It responds to timing, to signals that make sense to its metabolic systems, and to patterns that honor both energy and rest. This is the essence of an approach that can be experienced even over just 5 days, not as a miracle, but as a demonstration of the body's remarkable adaptability and efficiency. At the core of fat loss lies a simple principle. The body burns energy according to need. When calories from food are limited in a measured way, or when fasting periods are strategically introduced, the body begins to shift from immediate energy sources, like circulating glucose, toward stored fat. Fat is not merely an inert reserve, it is a living tissue, a repository of energy that can be mobilized when the brain and muscles require fuel. This mobilization is governed by hormones that act as messengers, instructing fat cells to release fatty acids into the bloodstream, while the liver converts them into ketone bodies, a clean, efficient fuel for both brain and body. The process is neither hurried nor chaotic. It is a careful negotiation, ensuring energy supply while preserving essential functions. Metabolic efficiency increases when the body learns to operate on this dual system of glucose and fat. During short, intentional periods of reduced caloric intake or time-restricted eating, insulin levels decrease, allowing fat mobilization to proceed unimpeded. Meanwhile, growth hormone rises slightly, helping to maintain muscle mass, even as fat stores are tapped. Energy perception shifts subtly. The mind may initially notice hunger, but over time, the body settles into a state where energy is steady and fatigue is minimized. This is not deprivation, it is alignment with the natural rhythm of human metabolism, which has evolved to endure periods without food and to thrive on periods of nutrient availability. Exercise, when integrated thoughtfully, acts as a catalyst rather than a punishment. Gentle movement signals the muscles to utilize available fatty acids efficiently, and even low-intensity activity can enhance circulation, oxygen delivery, and cellular energy production. Combined with mindful eating and hydration, the body begins to prioritize fat oxidation over storage, not through arbitrary restriction, but through a system of cues and responses that it innately understands. In 5 days, the changes are subtle but tangible. The body becomes more responsive to its own energy reserves, mental clarity improves as ketones feed the brain, and the sense of physical lightness is not just external but internal, a reflection of systems working in harmony. The most efficient fat loss is rarely dramatic. It is deliberate, patient, and deeply intelligent, reminding us that the body responds best when we listen to it, respect its rhythms, and provide conditions that allow its innate metabolic wisdom to emerge. Fat loss is not a battle of willpower. It is a conversation between the body and the signals it receives, a dialogue orchestrated by hormones, enzymes, and cellular machinery that has evolved over millions of years. At the heart of this process lies a simple yet profound principle. The body burns energy according to need. When food intake is limited in a controlled and consistent manner, the body naturally shifts from using circulating glucose, the sugar present in the blood from recent meals, to tapping into stored energy in the form of fat. Fat is far from being inert. It is a living tissue, a dynamic reservoir of energy designed to be mobilized when caloric intake does not match energy expenditure. This shift is not abrupt. It unfolds gradually, as if the body is testing the waters, ensuring energy supply is sufficient to maintain essential functions before committing to large-scale fat mobilization. Hormones act as the orchestrators of this process, guiding the release of energy from fat stores with precision and intelligence. Insulin, which rises after meals to store excess glucose, decreases during periods of reduced intake, allowing fat cells to release fatty acids. These fatty acids travel through the bloodstream to the liver, where they are transformed into ketone bodies, a form of energy that the brain and muscles can efficiently use. This conversion is an elegant adaptation, demonstrating the body's capacity to balance energy availability with survival needs. It ensures that even when glucose is limited, high-demand organs, such as the brain, continue to function at an optimal level, while muscles can sustain activity and movement. Fat loss is also moderated by the sympathetic nervous system, which signals the body to increase fat mobilization during periods of mild energy scarcity. Hormones such as adrenaline and noradrenaline encourage fat cells to release stored energy, while at the same time preserving glucose for tissues that rely on it exclusively. This hormonal balance allows the body to maximize fat utilization while avoiding sudden depletion of critical energy sources. The coordination is precise, ensuring energy is neither wasted nor withheld unnecessarily, highlighting the body's inherent intelligence. Muscles play a crucial role in determining how efficiently fat is burned. When energy from food is limited, muscles can draw upon fatty acids circulating in the bloodstream for fuel, especially during movement or low-intensity activity. This process is enhanced when the body has adapted to rely more on fat as an energy source, gradually improving the efficiency of fat oxidation. The result is a system in which fat is not merely stored or lost indiscriminately. It is carefully released and transformed into energy that supports both physical function and cognitive performance. The body's ability to shift from glucose to fat as a primary energy source exemplifies a dynamic flexibility that is often overlooked. It is not a simple subtraction of calories, but a finely tuned biological strategy where fat stores are converted into usable energy, supporting vitality while protecting essential tissues. In this process, fat loss becomes less about restriction and more about alignment, an intelligent response to the body's needs, orchestrated by hormones and cellular systems working in harmony, demonstrating the remarkable adaptability and efficiency of human metabolism. Metabolic efficiency is the body's remarkable ability to adapt to changing energy availability, and it plays a central role in fat loss when approached thoughtfully. When food intake is limited strategically, or when short periods of fasting are introduced, the body does not panic or waste energy. Instead, it adjusts in a carefully calibrated way, ensuring vital organs continue to function while non-essential processes are temporarily downregulated. The first adjustment involves a reduction in insulin levels, which naturally occurs when fewer calories are consumed. Insulin's primary role is to promote glucose storage, but when it declines, fat mobilization from adipose tissue is facilitated. This allows fatty acids to be released into the bloodstream, providing an alternative fuel source for muscles and other tissues, while the liver converts some of these fatty acids into ketone bodies, a form of energy that the brain and muscles can efficiently use. This elegant adaptation demonstrates the body's capacity to balance energy availability with survival needs. It ensures that even when glucose is limited, high-demand organs such as the brain continue to function at an optimal level, while muscles can sustain activity and movement. Fat loss is also moderated by the sympathetic nervous system, which signals the body to increase fat mobilization during periods of mild energy scarcity. Hormones such as adrenaline and noradrenaline encourage fat cells to release stored energy, while at the same time preserving glucose for tissues that rely on it exclusively. This hormonal balance allows the body to maximize fat utilization while avoiding sudden depletion of critical energy sources.
The coordination is precise, ensuring energy is neither wasted nor withheld unnecessarily, highlighting the body's inherent intelligence. Muscles play a crucial role in determining how efficiently fat is burned. When energy from food is limited, muscles can draw upon fatty acids circulating in the bloodstream for fuel, especially during movement or low-intensity activity. This process is enhanced when the body has adapted to rely more on fat as an energy source, gradually improving the efficiency of fat oxidation. The result is a system in which fat is not merely stored or lost indiscriminately. It is carefully released and transformed into energy that supports both physical function and cognitive performance. The body's ability to shift from glucose to fat as a primary energy source exemplifies a dynamic flexibility that is often overlooked. It is not a simple subtraction of calories.
The body's response to rhythm and consistency, rather than force, is a critical component of efficient fat loss. When energy intake is carefully timed or restricted in a controlled manner, the body adapts in a way that maximizes the use of stored fat while preserving essential functions. Fat loss is not about extreme restriction or punishing exercise. It is about aligning behavior with the natural cycles of metabolism. The human body evolved to respond to periods of food availability and scarcity, and it performs best when these patterns are predictable and coherent. Abrupt or inconsistent approaches to dieting disrupt this balance, leading to hormonal fluctuations, metabolic slowdown, or even increased fat storage as the body perceives scarcity and prepares for future shortages. Strategic timing works by creating periods when insulin levels are low, signaling the body that energy from glucose is limited and that fat stores can be mobilized safely. Insulin, which rises after meals to promote energy storage, is suppressed during these periods, allowing adipose tissue to release fatty acids into the bloodstream. These fatty acids provide energy for muscles and other tissues, while the liver converts some into ketone bodies to support the brain. This process demonstrates that fat loss is not a product of deprivation, but a careful dialogue between metabolism and nutrient signals, with timing as a central mediator. When the body is given a reliable rhythm, it learns to burn fat efficiently without stress or overcompensation. The nervous system also plays a significant role in this alignment. Hunger signals, energy perception, and mental clarity are all influenced by patterns of eating. When meals are consistent and periods of reduced intake are predictable, the body experiences less stress and the sympathetic nervous system does not trigger unnecessary cortisol release, which could otherwise promote fat storage. Instead, the body becomes more attuned to its energy reserves, using them efficiently and maintaining stability in mood and cognition. This illustrates that rhythm in eating is not merely about physical fuel, but also about supporting mental and emotional resilience during fat loss. Exercise further enhances this effect when it complements metabolic rhythms rather than conflicts with them. Physical activity timed with periods of increased fat availability encourages muscles to use fatty acids as fuel, improving overall metabolic flexibility. Low to moderate intensity movement during these windows allows energy to be drawn efficiently from fat stores without creating excessive stress or depleting glucose reserves prematurely. Over time, this approach trains the body to rely more on fat for energy, reinforcing the natural cycles of metabolism and creating sustainable adaptation. Even at the cellular level, predictable patterns of nutrient availability optimize energy efficiency. Mitochondria adjust to utilize fatty acids and ketones effectively, while non-essential processes slow slightly to conserve energy for survival and function. When the body experiences rhythm and consistency, it does not need to overcompensate or store excess fat.
Instead, it engages in a balanced, intelligent response, demonstrating that the most efficient fat loss occurs when human behavior aligns with the body's evolved metabolic intelligence, rather than attempting to override it through extremes or forceful interventions. Exercise plays a profound and often underestimated role in efficient fat loss, not as a mechanism of punishment or calorie burning alone, but as a signal that guides the body toward optimal energy use. When activity is integrated thoughtfully into a fat loss strategy, it complements the body's natural metabolic rhythms, encouraging muscles to utilize fatty acids from the bloodstream instead of relying exclusively on glucose. Muscles are dynamic organs that respond to energy availability, and even gentle, low-intensity movement can significantly enhance fat oxidation. Each contraction signals the body to mobilize stored energy, improving circulation, oxygen delivery, and mitochondrial efficiency. Over time, this encourages the body to become more metabolically flexible, able to switch seamlessly between glucose and fat as primary energy sources, demonstrating the body's remarkable adaptability. Movement also impacts hormone regulation in ways that facilitate fat loss. Physical activity stimulates the release of adrenaline and noradrenaline, which act on fat cells to promote the breakdown of stored triglycerides into free fatty acids. These fatty acids are then transported to tissues in need of energy, particularly muscles during exercise, ensuring efficient use of fat stores. At the same time, moderate exercise can help maintain optimal levels of insulin and cortisol, preventing spikes that might otherwise inhibit fat mobilization or trigger energy storage. In this way, exercise functions less as a brute force method and more as a precise cue, signaling the body to prioritize fat oxidation and enhance overall metabolic efficiency. Exercise also interacts with the central nervous system, influencing energy perception and mental clarity. Regular movement encourages a subtle shift in the body's reliance on stored energy, which can improve focus, motivation, and resilience during periods of reduced caloric intake. When ketones rise and fatty acids are used for fuel, the brain experiences a steady supply of energy, which supports cognition, mood, and decision-making. This demonstrates that the effects of physical activity extend beyond the muscular system, orchestrating a coordinated response that integrates mind and body, optimizing both energy use and overall well-being. The timing and intensity of exercise further shape its effectiveness for fat loss. Low to moderate intensity activity during periods when the body is primed to mobilize fat maximizes the use of circulating fatty acids, whereas extremely high intensity exercise can increase glucose demand and stress hormones, potentially reducing fat utilization. By aligning movement with metabolic windows, the body learns to draw on fat more efficiently, reinforcing natural rhythms rather than overriding them. This approach fosters sustainable adaptation, where fat loss occurs gradually and intelligently, without unnecessary strain or depletion. At the cellular level, exercise enhances mitochondrial function, increasing the number and efficiency of energy-producing units in muscle cells. Improved mitochondrial capacity allows fatty acids and ketones to be converted into ATP more effectively, supporting sustained activity and overall metabolism. Combined with proper timing of food intake, hydration, and rest, this creates a system in which fat is mobilized, utilized, and replenished efficiently, reflecting the sophisticated intelligence of human physiology. In this context, exercise is not a punishment, nor a mere tool for burning calories. It is a catalyst, a guide, and a teacher, helping the body learn to use its resources wisely, and demonstrating that sustainable fat loss is most effective when activity works in harmony with the body's natural metabolic design. Even brief, consistent interventions can produce noticeable and meaningful changes in fat metabolism, demonstrating the body's remarkable capacity to adapt to new patterns of energy use. Within a few days, when eating, movement, and rest are aligned thoughtfully, the body begins to respond in ways that optimize fat oxidation while preserving essential functions. Energy levels stabilize as the brain and muscles gradually rely more on stored fat, and the subtle shifts in fuel utilization can be observed not only in physical performance, but also in mental clarity and focus. This adaptation highlights that fat loss is not a matter of extremes or rapid transformation, but of introducing deliberate, sustainable patterns that the body can recognize and respond to intelligently. Within these few days, the body's metabolism undergoes a series of adjustments that prioritize fat mobilization. Insulin levels remain moderate, preventing unnecessary storage of energy, while allowing fatty acids to be released from adipose tissue and transported to muscles and other organs. The liver converts some of these fatty acids into ketone bodies, providing a stable, efficient source of energy for the brain. This shift in fuel use creates a sense of steadiness as energy is drawn from existing reserves rather than fluctuating dramatically with each meal or snack. The body, in essence, begins to learn how to use what it already has more efficiently, demonstrating that adaptation can occur rapidly when cues are consistent and aligned with natural metabolic rhythms. Exercise, even of moderate intensity, amplifies these effects by signaling the muscles to draw on circulating fatty acids, enhancing mitochondrial efficiency, and improving overall metabolic flexibility. Each contraction acts as a cue for the body, reinforcing the shift toward fat utilization and strengthening the pathways that convert stored energy into usable fuel. Over time, this repeated signaling encourages the body to become more adept